We're going to talk basketball now, Carol. This past week's NCAA men's basketball tournament surely brought excitement and madness to fans across the country. Upsets and buzzer beaters found throughout the bracket. So how did all this excitement affect gamblers, and how did it affect Las Vegas? Let's find out. We're joined now by Jay Rood, who is the sportsbook director for all MGM casinos in Vegas. Jay, thanks so much for joining us. Let me ask you about these upsets. I mean, you had Ohio University beating Georgetown. A lot of people didn't even know Iowa had a northern part, and they come out and wipe out Kansas. Are these kind of upsets bad for Vegas?
No. That's what makes this tournament the exciting tournament that it is. When you have seeds that are capable of coming in and playing well and challenging some of these powerhouse teams and actually getting the W, that's what makes this tournament, the magic happens every day.
But the odds, of course, pay out higher if a school like Ohio University wins and gets into the second round. Isn't that tough for people who are making the odds and people who are paying out the bets?
Well, it can be, yeah. I mean, if they continue to down the path to the championship, if we get Cornell in the Final Four, it'll be a really exciting and history-making event. But right now we stand to do well with Cornell if they were to win the tournament. There's not a lot of people that jumped on our 2,000 to 1 to win, so we're sitting pretty good on them.
How has the attendance been? I mean, has the economy affected the amount of betting that people do on sports, the amount of people that come into the casinos in the opening weekend for this tournament?
The last 4 days, if you were anywhere near a sports book here in Vegas, it was absolute pandemonium, craziness. Everybody was having a fantastic time. We were packed to the ceiling. The excitement couldn't have been any better. Northern Iowa, capped it off, beating Kansas. Everybody's having a great time. I mean, if you're not, tied to the school and at the site where they're playing, this is absolutely the best place to be.
Hey, you set the odds for the games. Are there any particular games that are particularly tough coming up that we should look out for?
Well, anytime you're getting schools that don't traditionally play against powerhouses, the Cornells of the world, them coming up against Kentucky, that's an intriguing matchup. Kentucky's a 9.5-point favorite in that game right now. But from what I've seen from Cornell, they're more than capable of going in and beating Kentucky as well. If they believe in themselves and they play like they did against Wisconsin, that was a no-doubter in Wisconsin. I mean, they played with supreme confidence, and they knew that they were going to handle that game. So that one is, it all comes down to the power rankings. Some of these schools that are coming from lightly known conferences, sometimes it's a challenge when they're going up against really, really big conference schools in the first round. That's where you have, the point spreads get up into the 20s or so, and that's a little more difficult. But as the competition gets tighter and you're able to see some of these smaller conference schools play, they sort of look like another school that you're familiar with, and you're able to make a better decision on it.
Kentucky, I think the winningest team in the NCAA and the second winningest team as far as winning the total tournament, right behind UCLA. What about Cornell? I mean, it's a shocker that they get in here. I think I just saw the odds flash by at 25 to 1. Do they want it more? Does that make it give them a better chance here?
Well, wanting it more and having the talent to get it done is a big difference. I wanted to play tight end in the NFL. That didn't happen. But I think having a certain desire and having some experience. Cornell is a very experienced team. They won the Ivy League. Any team that is in this tournament is battle tested within their own league. Whether the league prepares that team well enough for a deep run in the NCAA depends on how many teams in that league are very competitive.
Got it.
And in the Ivy League, there's a couple that are, pressed Cornell, but, they prove that they're ready and going.
Got it. Hey, Jay, thanks so much for joining us. Jay Rood there from Las Vegas.